Hello, welcome to Crafting with the Crafty Chick. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I wanted to just let you guys know really quick, I really appreciate you sticking by me and your patience while we try to figure out a different way of crafting. It's kind of difficult, and I miss you guys so much. But thank you for joining me, and I hope that you have set aside some time for you and to relax and to do something fun. So we are doing the Jar of Flowers project. Again, I really love this set, you guys. It's so fun, and I love that there's 4 different flower arrangements, so there's a lot of versatility here. Sorry about that, it's my phone. And I wanted to really quick just go through the catalog. So the Jar of Flowers bundle is on page 12. Yeah, I have that memorized. So there's 2 different stamp sets here that I love. But in the catalog on page 12 is the Jar of Flowers set, which is what we are doing. I love this idea up here at the top. Somebody took something, I want to say sunflower seeds or some kind of flower seed, and put them inside this shaker dome, and I just thought that was really clever. And then on page 13 there's this sunflower set, and I ended up and got this bundle as well. And if you guys can see in my catalog, once I've gotten a stamp set or bundle, I do a check mark and put a line through it, and that tells me that I own this set. So this will be, I think, August projects is going to be with this sunflower bundle. I would love to case this card up here, which up here, I don't know if you guys can see, there's a gold hoop, and those are gold hoop embellishments that right now are on back order. So we'll just have to see, or maybe we'll improvise, but I think this is one of the ones I want to make for August project using this bundle to celebrate sunflowers. Okay, so I am trying to do separate videos, so each project will be a video, and I'm trying to keep it 30 minutes or less, so we'll see how that works, and then we're going to try to upload these to YouTube and then send out the information to you guys so you can watch them. I want to know if this works better for you guys, and maybe solve some of the buffering issues and maybe video quality issues. So I wanted to move on to project number 2 using the same Jar of Flowers bundle. And so the next project we're going to work on is another new in color. I love this shade of green. It's called Just Jade. Really pretty color. I was trying to go through our current color families through Stampin' Up! And trying to find a close match, and have not found one. Kind of in between a mint macaron and I just lost the other one of our other greens. Anyway, it's a really pretty color. I really like it. And as you can see, this bottom part here is also part of this stamp set. I found out and I played with it and I can't find it, otherwise I show you. But it's this stamp here, and if you take the lid and you stamp the lid and fussy cut that out, it actually fits right over the top of this as well. So it's like a little jam jar, which is so cute. But I decided to improvise and just kind of make it look like a flower pot. This paper, I want to tell you guys, is from the New in Color DSP pack, 6x6 pack. And so that's where these 2 pieces of paper are from. One other thing I want to mention about, in your kit you guys have the New in Color enamel dots, and I want to tell you I'm not a big fan of these, and one of the reasons why is in the process of taking them off to attach them to my card is that this is like 2 different pieces. So in the process of lifting this up off of the plastic sheet, the top completely separates from the bottom, and so it's like 2 different pieces of enamel dot. I had 3 different ones do that to me, so I don't know if it's something, a defect, or if they're just not, if it's something I'm doing. So if you guys have this problem, I would like to know. But right now, I probably, just based on them separating on me, I probably will not order any more of these. So I want to tell you, that's why I only have 1 enamel dot on this card, is because when we go to make the sample, I want to try it and see if it separates on me again, so you guys can see. Hopefully it won't, but we'll just see. So the enamel dot that you guys got in your kit, these are all the new in colors, the new current in colors. So with the pink, it's Magenta Madness, and then the green is just Jade, which I've used them all. And the next one is Misty Moonlight, a really pretty blue. And then a really light brown called Cinnamon Cider. And this makes me think of just a really light chocolate chip color, which is one of our old Stampin' Up! Colors. And then the yellow is Bumblebee. So really pretty color collection of in colors this year. Okay, so I wanted to make sure I told you guys about the enamel dots. So we're going to set those off to the side, as we'll come back and use those for our card. And then I'm going to get our pieces out. And new in color enamel dots. When I'm doing project preparations, as I'm making or creating, I write down little notes for me as a reminder to tell you guys, whether it's a tip, a trick, or something about a product. Okay, I'm looking for all my pieces here. So this was my sample card that I did originally, and I used the Just Jade new in color ribbon. This also is from the DSP pack, but we did not do this time. One, the ribbon just kind of gets lost in the card. It doesn't really add much, so I decided to forego that. And then this DSP, I ordered 2 packages, and the width that I cut this was not enough for me to get 8 pieces to give you guys, which is why I went to this DSP piece. And so I cut them smaller so that I could get 8 pieces to accommodate everybody. But this enamel dot, when I took it off the sheet, completely separated, and I used glue to try to attach it. That did not work. I ended up and had to use a small glue dot, which works really great. So if you guys do have that problem with them separating, little mini glue dots work really well to attach that back on. Okay. So the sample card, one other thing I want to tell you is that it might be kind of hard to see. I don't know if I can turn it. If you guys can see, the bottom of the pot is popped with dimensionals, and then the bottom of this flower arrangement also is popped with dimensionals. And then this top piece is flat, with the exception of this top flower actually has a popped petal just to add some dimension. So we're going to be doing this today. Okay, so get all of our pieces together here. This is a liner. Okay. So this one is a pretty quick project, so we should get through this pretty quickly. And there will be a little bit of fussy cutting, so make sure you have your scissors handy. So in your kit you guys have this piece here. And this again is from the Jar of Flowers. And I colored the flowers with the Stampin' Blends. I love the Stampin' Blends. So the yellow is a retired color now. It's a dark pineapple punch. But it's just a really bright, vivid yellow, really pretty. Daffodil Delight wasn't exactly as bright as I wanted, and so I used the pineapple punch. And for the red flowers, I use the dark Poppy Parade blend. And for the leaves and the stems, I use the light Granny Apple Green. Okay, and then you should have 2 different pieces in your kit. And so I'm going to show you how we're going to, I think you should have 1. Sorry. Yeah, I think there's 1. Sorry, it's been a long time since I've done these cards, so I'm trying to remember everything. So, the flower pot, or the jar, has, when you stamp it, let me pull this up so I can show you guys. Actually has, you can see up at the top here, it's kind of like a ring. And I'm going to tell you exactly what that's for here in a minute, but we want to cut that completely out so that we don't have that ring. So basically you're eliminating that, which creates kind of that angle a little bit. So when you fussy cut that top ring part out to make it look like a flower pot. Okay. I'm going to come back and tell you guys what that is, what this stamp, other than for a jar, what this is actually for. It's pretty cool. So I'll come back to that when we're done making our card. Okay, so you fussy cut your flower pot out, and we're going to set that off to the side. So we actually are going to go ahead and start our assembly. So you're going to take this DSP, or just jade, and attach it to your wisp of white. And you want to leave a border on both sides of your white. So you're going to go all the way up to the top and the bottom of your white. Remember to leave a white border on both sides. And with mono glue you can adjust if you're over too much on one side. I'm going to attach that, and then make sure that your fold is up at the top of your base. And we're now going to attach this piece to our just jade card base. And so I went in maybe 1/4 of an inch in from the left side. We're going to attach that now, so that's good and secure. And then your piece that has your sentimental little note and the flower arrangement, we're going to attach this piece to their base as well. And you want to leave about the same amount of space at the top and the bottom. I'm going to attach that piece. Okay. So I have taken one of the stamped images and fussy cut. Basically this is the bottom of the flower arrangement. And so I cut around this red flower and above this yellow flower, around this red flower, and then this whole arrangement here. So I fussy cut this whole piece out. And so that's going to get popped to go on the bottom to really create some dimension. So we're going to put dimensionals on the bottom of this piece once you have fussy cut that out. And so if you guys need a closer up, this is what it looks like. So you should have 4 red flowers in the bottom of that. Okay, dimensionals. So I use the smaller dimensionals up in the corners, and then big dimensionals. I call them small dimensionals, but they're really called mini dimensionals. I use the big ones. Okay. makes me think back when I was a kid. I loved stickers, and I collected stickers when I was a kid, and wrote little notes and made little letters for my friends, and I always put stickers in their notes and letters and their cards. Hello Kitty was pretty big in California at the time, and I did a lot of Hello Kitty type stuff. Okay, so now once you have attached your dimensionals to the bottom part of your flower arrangement, you're going to stick this on, and you just try to line up. It's okay if you still see the colored part show through. Okay, and so now that should be really, get it in the camera, trying to focus, so you can see that it is really raised now, and just add some dimension there. And then what I've done is I've taken the other piece. Okay, let me lay these out here. I actually numbered them. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see these 3 petals here. And what these 3 petals are from is I have fussy cut them out from these flowers up here. So this first one, let me grab my take your pick tool. So what I have done on the first flower, if I can grab it here. Okay. See if I can show you guys what I have done is I fussy cut this flower from this line all the way down. You leave this top part of the flower, do not include that in your petal. We're just cutting this part here. So we're going to do that on the first flower, and then on the second flower, I'm really trying to get this to focus. On the second flower, we are just cutting this section of the petal out. So it kind of looks like a heart shape. So it's just this part right here. We're cutting that part out for the second flower. And then on the third flower, you're cutting, let me get closer here. We're cutting this part out. Leave the top part of the petal just like we did on the first one. Don't cut that out. Just cut this center one out, and that's petal number 3. The rest of the arrangement, if you wanted to fussy cut them out and pop them onto your arrangement, you absolutely can do that. I just wanted to get these top 3 so that our 3D image wasn't just on the bottom, but we carry it through the whole arrangement. So I'm going to turn these over now, and we're going to put mini dimensionals on the back of those. I numbered my flowers so that I could remember which one was which. Whoop, that one didn't work out. Okay, so that's the first one. And the second one, if you don't have mini dimensionals, you can use regular dimensionals and just cut them to fit your petals. Okay, so now I'm going to start with petal number 1. I'll bring this up closer so hopefully you guys can see a little better. And so what I'm going to do is just take that and just cover the bottom of that petal, and it really just creates that 3D effect, which is really beautiful. And then I'm going to do the same thing with petal number 2 and petal number 3. And so remember, it's kind of the heart shape that's over on this side of the petal, and I'm going to put that on there. Just like that. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it really just creates that 3D effect, which really gives it a lot of dimension. And then petal number 3 is going to go on this, sorry, on this top piece right here. Remember, we're not doing the top of the flower, we're doing the bottom center. So I'm going to pop that piece on. And now you've got this beautiful 3D looking bouquet. How pretty. And then we're going to take our flower pot piece and put dimensionals on the back of that. And this one I just used the regular size dimensionals. Let's just put 2 on there like that. And you want to, down at the bottom of this, there's a white line. You want to make sure you cover up that white line at the bottom of your flower arrangement. And then you just place your flower pot over your flower arrangement. And stick that on. Isn't that beautiful? Really, really pretty. And then we're going to take the inside liner, Whisper White, and attach that to the inside. This is a really pretty card to send to somebody. Just a little note. Just give somebody a few words of encouragement. Let them know you're thinking of them. The little things make such a difference in our lives. And how special we feel when we know others are thinking of us. Okay, so for this one, since I ran out of my Just Jade, I'm actually going to use the Bumblebee enamel dots. We're going to see if I can get these off without them separating. Watch them make a liar out of me. So what I do is I just take the tip of my Take Your Pick tool. Remember, very sharp, so don't poke your fingers. And I'm going to come in from the bottom and just lift this up. You know what? Let me get my mat so you can see this better. Hopefully you guys can see this a little bit better. So I'm going to come in. Remember, keep your fingers out of the way so you don't poke your fingers. But I'm coming in at the bottom, which is kind of... This is the problem I have, and this is where they separate. Well, that one didn't do it. So, see what I tell you. So then you're just going to place your enamel dot, one on each end of your A Little Note Sentiment. Okay, well, we had success there, and it could have been just the way I was doing it. I don't know. And there we have our second Jar of Flowers card. Don't throw these away. You will need them for project number 3. And then the rest of the colors that we don't use, you guys can keep and use for whatever you want. And there we have our finished card. The other nice thing I like about these enamel dots is they're not so raised, so it wouldn't cost you extra postage for shipping. The dimensionals actually stick up more than the enamel dots do. So, there's a little note. Send somebody a little note. Let them know you're thinking of them or what they mean to you. And you guys take care of yourselves. And I will see you for Project 3 and 4. Thank you so much for crafting with the Crafty Chick. I love and miss you. Take care. Be safe. Bye-bye.